High snap, play action, Nichols underneath, caught, gets away from one tackler, gets away from two tacklers, down the sidelines, one man to beat, stutter step, getting away to the end zone, number 8, Dylan Talley, touchdown, Bowie.
Robertson in motion, Craven's back to pass, goes across the middle, Ghostin holds it in, he's gonna go to the touchdown, to the house, Cravens to Ghostin, Colt, touchdown.
As a tight end, pulls a guard, Barrett finds the hole, follows the pulling guard, cuts outside, bounces outside to the 20, 10, 15, 5, touchdown, Bowers, touchdown, Bowie.
And folks, we have history at Haltom. Danny Bustamante has just pitched a no-hit, no-run, no-walk shutout. A perfect game for Danny Bustamante.
Rios looks at Alvarado and turns home. It's going to that left field gap. That's a base hit. Here comes Axel Alvarado. The Colts are going to take the lead in the top of the 7th on the base hit by Gannon Howard. Burkle out of position. They've got to pass, and they've got to go! Patomeco with the pass. Narario has a bit of a look. Shot on goal, and he gets it in! Two tight end set here as we go to the left-hand side with B.J. Rogers. Rogers is into the second level. B.J. Rogers to midfield. One man trying to catch up to him, but he will not. Number 6 in for 6. That will do it.
This broadcast is under intellectual property and may not be repurposed or reproduced without express written consent. Enjoy this presentation from Zach Arnold Productions, Energetic Media Solutions.
It's a rematch between a couple of district contenders from last year. In fact, it is the rematch of the District 8-6A title coming from the campus of South Grand Prairie High School. It's the Arlington Colts and the SGP Warriors, and the pregame show presented by Chapman Cornelius is coming up right after this. John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Are you a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage? Or perhaps you're navigating the complexities of Medicare? Look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent insurance agency with over 50 years of experience with tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need home and auto, business insurance, or individual or group medical, Chapman Cornelius has knowledgeable agents who will help you select just what you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott at 817-265-3346.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome into Warrior Field on the campus of South Grand Prairie High School, a place where Arlington has had relative success the last couple of years, winning the last 2 ball games at this ballpark, if memory serves correctly. And they're looking to make it 3 in a row and go to 3-0 in district play. They got a couple of run rule victories against the Halton Buffaloes last week, including a perfect game by Danny Bustamante, who will be taking the mound for the Colts this evening as well. They are going to be facing a really tough South Grand Prairie team that is off to a 12-3-1 record on the season, have not lost a game in the month of March, but there's a first time for everything. I'm Zach Arnold, and I'm joined here with producer Chaz Melton, and to my right, Jot Holly, bringing you this game. Jot, we have covered Arlington for a few years now, and this always ends up being one of the biggest games in district play as far as seeding potential, playoff potential, district champion potential, and it's happening in just the second series of this district season.
Yeah, it's a little bit different when you play against your most formidable foe early in the season. That means that you have room for error later on in the season. When you play a team like South Grand Prairie, if you're Arlington, you ended the season last year beating them for the district championship. You kind of want to get a good feeling out, but you know these 2 games might not matter as much because it's so early. Your team's still finding itself, so it's a good way to figure out what to work on because you had a good series last week versus Haltom, getting a sweep, and then getting a perfect game, and then a shutout with Bouchelle. While South Grand Prairie played a team in Sam Houston who isn't as formidable as Arlington
Right.
or as Haltom with Arlington last week. So it gives you an early season test out of tournament play into
Hmm.
district play, but it kind of sets the bar to know, okay, those first two games early in the season might not come back to hurt us as much.
But if you do end up not splitting this series, then there's a little bit more pressure to be perfect down the stretch because, if you end up playing a rival like Martin, or if you have a really tough Lamar team that's also off to a 2-0 start in district, it's Arlington South and Lamar that are all 2-0 to start district. And if something happens down the line, there's still some potential playoff implications if you can't even pull off a split. So I talked to Coach Womack while I was getting lineups from him, and he says that he's excited to see what Danny Bustamante can do coming off of a perfect game, but he's most proud of his defense. And he's ready to hang his hat. That's what he literally said to me. He said, "We hang our hat on our defense." And when you've got all seniors in your starting lineup, you expect your defense to be solid.
Yeah, they have a really good defense, especially during that Birdsville tournament. We saw three double plays from Arlington just that tournament alone. We got a chance to see, I believe, two last week versus Halswell in different games. So you hang your hat on your defense. You have a lot of good starters in the infield. When Bustamante is not on the mound, he's a really good shortstop. You have guys like Axel Alvarado at the hot corner, and then you have Cifuentes on first, interchanging with second baseman tonight. It's going to be Hercules, but you have a lot of good players in the infield that make up the mistakes if a ball gets hit to save the pitcher, and that's what players like Bustamante and Bouchel need as starting pitchers is to know your defense has your back behind you.
Yeah, a lot of the pitchers for Arlington can be pitchers to contact, which means that the defense really has to try to back them up on the back end, and that is something that, like you said, we have seen them do quite a bit. South Grand Prairie has not lost a game since February 28th, so they've gone the entire month of March without a loss, and Arlington had a really tough tournament slate, a really tough non-district slate. They technically come in with a 6-10 overall record, but it's that 2-0 mark in 8-6A that matters the most. This is our final season playing SGP as a district opponent, and I think both sides are eager to kind of leave a mark on this intra-city rivalry, as it were. These two teams have been the most competitive in district and want to try to prove themselves that they are worthy of coming out on top in this last season that they're together in district.
See, the benefit is when you're a team like Arlington, you may have had a losing record in in tournament play, but you played a lot of good teams that were district champions and
State
state
champions, even.
champions. You played
Yeah.
teams like Benbrook who made it all the way pretty deep in the playoffs. Played teams like Birdville who made it deep in the playoffs. Yeah, you played teams like Keller Central who was rebuilding, but they showed that the rebuild is here this year.
Yeah.
So you played a lot of good teams if you're Arlington, and then you went all the way to all the way down to Corpus Christi like you did, and you played a lot of good teams down there
Oh,
too.
yeah.
So you might not have came away with the win in those games, but you played tough. You didn't back down. And there were moments and chances and glimpses that you said, okay, this team's got something to work with. Now South Grand Prairie, on the other hand, they got a lot of players that are returning. They got Zach Shepler, they got Dalen Brooks, who we saw in the football season, and we saw a lot
Yep.
of last season for playing center field for this team.
Yep.
There's a lot of players on that team. You want to go out with a win. You don't want to be like Haltom last week,
Oh, man.
where the final time Arlington will play Haltom for at least the foreseeable future, you have shut them out three of the last four straight games.
Yep.
And you want to get something like that out of South Grand Prairie, even if you split. Later on down the year, you still have to play Lamar. You got to play Bowie and Martin.
Yep.
And those are games that, okay, we play South Grand Prairie. We set the bar. They set the bar. We'll both be 3-1 coming out of the series if that's the worst case scenario.
Yep. Yep. After tonight, there may only be two undefeateds remaining in the district, and Arlington is hoping to be one of them. Umpires are at home plate with the Warriors head coach, Paul Yelda. I see Coach Womack out there. He actually kind of looks like an umpire a little bit with his black overcoat that he's got on. But he's out there exchanging lineups, exchanging information. And we've got a little information for you all tuning in as well, and that is that the pregame show is presented by Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services. They're a family owned business with a team of professionals who have served the Arlington area for over 50 years. Don't let insurance be a headache. Chapman Cornelius can help you create a custom insurance plan tailored to your small business's needs and budget. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott at 817 265 3346 or go to www.chapman-cornelius.com. The last time this group of three was together, it was for Bowie versus Grand Prairie, and we were up in the Crow's Nest on a windy night for baseball, and the wind was in our face and in our microphones and really wreaking havoc on us. But it is a lot more warm. The breeze is a lot more gentle, and it should be shaping up for a really pretty night for baseball.
Yeah, I made sure to. I wore a sweater this morning. When I left for work, it was 34 degrees. Now I got the long sleeve shirt provided to you by the CW. I got my long sleeve Michigan hoodie in the car just in case I need to go grab it. If the wind gets out of control, I didn't fly away to Kansas last week as much as I thought I
You
would.
almost did.
Almost did a few times, but now I'm on solid ground and I'm not worried about it now.
Well, you know what's really interesting is I regulate my warmth in my feet. If my feet are warm, then the rest of me is doing okay. I've got an extra layer of socks on tonight, and I've got my weatherproof work shoes on because I had to come straight over from work, and I'm ready for some Texas high school baseball.
Yeah, should be in for a good game. There's a lot as you see South Grand Prairie is coming out for the warm ups, their lineups. They have a lot of good players that are gonna be exciting to watch. I'm ready for some good baseball tonight too. Like you said, this will be my last time seeing them. The way we're looking for Friday, I'll be at Bowie versus Sam.
Yep.
So it's my last time for the foreseeable future seeing a lot of these players.
Depending on
Who,
if we put you on the Bowie versus South series, but we'll have
yeah.
to wait and see. You actually mentioned during pregame, somehow in all of the times that you've been doing stuff with us here on Zap, this is your first time at this particular ballpark. What do you make of the digs here?
I thought the parking was interesting. When I pulled up, I was like, man, it's foul ball territory everywhere I look.
Everywhere.
But the net here looks high. Doesn't look as high as some places we've been, but I know living by Birdsville High School, you see a lot of balls hitting to the street. I'm kind of expecting the same thing here tonight. A lot of balls hit into the street. So if you're driving by, make sure you stop. The old school word of ball help might be called a few times.
You can see on your video screen view that the fence starts higher out in right field and gets lower to left field. I think that's a means of protecting the stuff that is behind there over at the campus of SGP. But it definitely yields a benefit to right-handed hitters that might want to pull it over that left field fence. So that'll be something to watch out for in tonight's game, as well as the wind. You can see the flag out in center field blowing from left to right. So, the wind and the weather conditions could play a factor in balls going to the outfield.
I'm more worried about balls hitting foul territory over there because I parked
And
next to you.
heading to our car. True. We're going to turn it over for the national anthem, and then we'll be right back for first pitch here on Zap. Our nation's colors being honored here at Warrior Field. And that means it is now baseball time in Texas. Arlington is clad in their black jerseys with green pinstriping and green numbers with cursive Arlington across the chest. And it is the home whites for the Warriors with Southside in red across the chest for them and red numbers. Copy that link, hit that share button, let the folks at home know that it is time for first pitch here at South Grand Prairie. Arlington is the visitors, so we'll bring you their starting lineups. Leading off and pitching, it's number 4, Danny Bustamante. Bustamante leading off in pitching. Batting second in center field, number 2, Gannon Howard. Howard in center field. Batting third and catching, it's Axel Alvarado. Axel batting third and catching. Payne Cornell is in the cleanup spot, playing right field and wearing number 17. Cornell in right. Batting fifth and playing third base, it's Abe Alvarado. Abe batting fifth at third base. Batting sixth at shortstop, position 6, wearing number 6, Colin Murphy. Murphy batting sixth and wearing 6. Batting seventh and DHing, number 24, Corbin Quiros. Quiros, the DH, batting for Simon Hercules. Batting eighth and playing first base, number 26, Noah Cifuentes. Cifuentes batting eighth at first. And rounding out the order, in left field, it's Dominic Trillo. Defensively for the Warriors tonight, Shepler's at first base, Lucio is at second, Vasquez is at third, Ramirez is at short, Bazan is in left, Brooks is in center, Mountcastle is in right. Behind the plate is Guerrero and his battery mate getting the start tonight, number 26, Michael Maggart.
Just watching Maggart on the mound, taking some warm-up pitches. It looks like he had a hard time trying to spot some of those breaking pitches. A lot of them came up short of home plate. We'll see how that goes as the game starts here with Bustamante stepping to the batter's box. But if Maggart has a hard time controlling that breaking pitch, it might be a long night for him. But that's just through early pitch warm-up.
As we open up this game, we remind you to open up your home to new possibilities with Modern West Windows and Doors, our first pitch presenters this season. And he's going to square up for a bunt on the first pitch, and it's perfectly placed. Danny Bustamante with a leadoff bunt single.
That's how you jumpstart a game there. Nobody's paying attention. Nobody's getting settled in, and Booster just lays down a little tapper down the third base line.
Yeah, Vasquez was too far up the baseline. Maggart wasn't ready for it, and the leadoff man is aboard for the Colts. So now the center fielder, Gannon Howard, will dig into the batter's box. With the first baseman, Shepler, covering. He'll square up for a bunt, and it'll foul straight back for strike number 1.
There you go. He had that Maggart, that pitch right there. He had the same hard time in warm-ups here early, trying to get control of some of his pitches. A lot of them were coming short, were just all over the place. So that's a good way to kind of get him jump-started there. Now that he doesn't know what's going to happen, he already saw an attack bunt single to start the game. He doesn't know what to think.
Absolutely. Booster with a modest lead off of first, and Howard's going to rip that to left center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. And with the speed that Bustamante's got, you can bet he's headed for home. Here he comes down the third baseline, and it's an RBI double for Gannon Howard. The Colts are up 1-0 on 2 batters.
Good piece of hitting already. They took what they learned last week in the Haltom series, and they're applying it early. No first pitch swinging, except for the bunting. But that's a good hit there by Gannon Howard. Now he's in scoring position.
Right between the left fielder Bazan and the center fielder Brooks, all the way to the wall, which is 337 feet to the gap.
It's not as long as that 425.
This is going to be a foul off of the ankle of Axel Alvarado, who has been on a tear to start this season. He posted some of his highlights and actually used some of our video for his highlights, and some of the stuff that he said that he was accumulating was just crazy numbers. Batting .486 coming into tonight's game. He'll check his swing there, and a strike will be called anyways.
Yeah, both Axel and Abe have been on the tear this season for Arlington. I've had a lot of games to see with them already early in this season between tournament play and last week. So he's on a good tear early, especially that's where you want to start off a season. Then you got to carry it all the way through district play. tears that ball foul behind the play. I'm scared of anything getting hit out left field foul territory. My car is parked pretty close to the bullpen there. As Zach's doing a little maintenance here. Got a good chance. 0-2 counter Axel. Payne Cornell's on deck. Gannon Howard standing at second with a good lead. As Maggots getting ready for that call. Maggots can turn fire to second. Back in time safely is Gannon Howard. Gives Axel a little bit of chance to figure out what's going on up there at the mound. Righty on lefty matchup here, especially early in the game. If you're Axel, you want to get a good jump on a pitch there and try to take it off to left field. And that ball is taken left field, but foul over home plate. See, I'm scared of balls going out towards the parking lot, but I parked far enough away potentially that Zach's car will prevent mine from getting hit.
Yeah, you parked next to mine. I remember that.
Yeah, I have a smaller car
You-
today. I didn't bring the truck.
You coward.
If somebody gets hit, it's gotta be you, right?
I mean, it's a company vehicle, so I'm sure it's insured.
Well, it must be nice.
Okay, I'll take over now that we've made some adjustments to our camera. Nothing in two here to Axel. And he's going to lace that one to right center field. Brooks is going back, and he'll make the grab. And he will actually be able to keep Gannon Howard at second base. The contact on that one by Axel was great off of the bat. But unfortunately, it'll just be a harmless F8.
Yeah, that was a great piece of contact hitting by Axel. Just wasn't able to find the gap. But Dalen Brooks, he's the quarterback of the football team, and he's one of the most athletic players in all of district play, playing center field out there for South Grand Prairie. You don't want to test that arm, and Gannon Howard thought about it for a second and got back in time. We saw a lot of that during football season.
He's got the range for it for sure. First pitch is below the knees for a ball one to Payne Cornell. In position number 9, but spot number 4 in the lineup for the Colts.
And this is why they put you in the cleanup spot. You're supposed to get that man
Try
in
to
from
clean
second.
up that guy in scoring position, absolutely. And he'll take a look at a strike at the knees, crosses the inside part of the zone there.
Hey, we got a new term for you that John Ethan coined last week.
Snake eyes.
Snake eyes.
I heard that.
You were listening.
I was tuning in a little bit there. Yeah, we may be seeing and hearing more of John Ethan moving forward. I'm excited to have him along for the ride with us. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 man on. And Cornell can't connect on the off speeder. It's that breaking ball you were talking about that was going into the dirt. That one goes into the glove of Guerrero, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, he pulled the string back on it. Cornell's looking for something to hit. He just pulled the string, took some of the speed off. But now you know that he's coming, that he might come back with it here on a 1-2. Got to prepare to protect the plate.
Lucio shading to second base, now returning to position. Chopper foul.
There you go. You got to protect the plate there. He's a righty. You look for anything outside in the way you don't want to try to swing at. Anything that runs in on you, just hit it foul and do it again. Make him throw a pitch that you want to hit.
Donna Nipper already in the chat on YouTube saying, "Kick 'em Colts." Thanks so much for tuning in all the way from Mississippi. We appreciate every time you're able to join us for a Colts baseball game. Howard's off and running. It's an off speeder, and it's a stolen base. Guerrero kind of bobbled it a little bit on the exchange and didn't have an opportunity to throw it down, and now Gannon is 90 feet away, and it's 2-2 to Cornell.
That's a good job there by Gannon Howard. He'd take off. Guerrero just couldn't get a hand on it.
Part of it was the off-speed pitch, so it took a while getting to the glove of Guerrero, and by then Howard probably would have been safe anyway. Called strike 3, just barely across the lettering, and that will be Maggert's first strikeout and out number 2.
Yeah, you got to protect there. I mean, you got 1 out.
It was a bang type of pitch, though. Like, from our vantage point, it just barely creased the letters. We're not up in the press box where the camera is. It's transmitting a signal down to us from the press box. We're actually along the baseline. And from that view that we had, it looked like it could have been a bit high. But now it'll be up to AB to try to bring in the runner that's 90 feet away. Pretty decent sized backstop here. If it gets away from Guerrero, Howard could try to come home on a wild pitch. That one's chin high for ball 1.
Okay, this is a good time. Abe, the last few games I've seen of him, he's had 4 hit by pitches in the last 4 games. Let's not take one here, but it'd be a good way to get on base. But maybe I want to get a hit with the bat, not hitting Abe.
Guerrero tries to frame that one and cannot. That one is too high.
He has to be leading the league in hit by pitches. I believe 4 or 5 that he had in the last 4 or 5 games or so, going back to the Birdville tournament.
The 2-1 to him. And here comes Howard. It's off of the carom. The play at the plate is not going to be in time. Colts are up 2-0 now on the score by the wild pitch. Dang, I love it when I call it.
When you call it, I thought I was calling the bad breaking pitches early to start the game.
You were. That was a bad breaking pitch, and I called the wild pitch potential. And the check swing will go into a gap in no man's land. The third baseman is charging at it, and he will make the play. Vasquez to Schepler will record the final out for Abe Alvarado. But not before Arlington strikes first here in the top of the first. We're headed to the bottom of this first half inning. It's Arlington 2 and the Warriors coming up to the plate when we come back here on the Zap Network.
Whenever a plumbing problem hits your home, experience matters. Pipe & Peak is a family-owned residential plumbing company with 16 years of experience that you can trust. They handle everything from yard leaks and slab leaks to tunnel work, and they're specialists in replacing old cast iron pipe. No job is too big or too small, and their pricing stays competitive. If you're seeing signs of aging pipes, now's the time to act. Send an email to Caleb Renfro to see how Pipe & Peak can help your home. When your high school field needs to look game ready, trust John Kling and the pros at Field Ops North Texas. This veteran-owned team delivers fast turnaround and long-lasting field striping for football, soccer, lacrosse, and more, using professional-grade paint and equipment. Field Ops proudly serves schools and communities across North Texas, helping student-athletes compete on fields that look as good as they play. Get a free quote today by visiting gofieldops.com/north-texas.
Welcome back to the home of the Warriors, headed to the bottom of the first inning. Arlington was able to plate a couple, one off of an RBI double that was just a hot shot to left field by Gannon Howard, and then he made it all the way home to score on the wild pitch. And now it'll be the young man, fresh off of his second perfect game of his career. Danny Bustamante takes the mound, holding the only 2 known perfect games in Colt baseball history. And I'll talk a little bit more about the odds that were defied in that game last week. I made a TikTok video about it because the odds that happened that converged for that perfect game were just ridiculous. His defense around him at first base is Noah Cifuentes. Simon Hercules is at second, not in the lineup, but playing defense. Colin Murphy is at short. Abe Alvarado is at third. Dominic Trillo in left. Gannon Howard in center. Payne Cornell in right. And Bustamante's battery mate is Axel Alvarado. Leading off for the Warriors, it's the center fielder, Dalen Brooks. First pitch to him is a high fastball for a called strike one. After him, it'll be the left fielder, Anthony Bazan. And the first baseman, Zach Schepler, are 1-2-3 in the lineup. And again, a called strike to Brooks, and Bustamante quickly ahead, 0-2.
It's the same pitch to start off the game that Maggard threw on the strikeout to Payne Cornell.
Yep.
Right around the letters there on the chest. So
Yep.
Blues calling it accurately so far.
In play, first base side, Cifuentes calling for it and making the grab for out number 1.
That's a good way to get the leadoff man, who is probably the most dangerous man in this lineup. We saw a lot of him last year.
Definitely the fastest.
He's the fastest for sure. We saw a lot of him last year in baseball, and he stood out to us right away, especially in a lot of games versus Arlington and Bowie. And then football season, we saw him as a starting quarterback. He took this team all the way to the district championship game. But you want to get that out early against Dalen Brooks and sit him down to try to work around the lineup behind him.
He's just throwing strikes. Bustamante has not thrown a ball yet, as this is a called strike one to Anthony Bazan. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Bustamante is wheeling and dealing to start this first inning.
He's not playing around with him to start the game. He's not. We're looking for a breaking pitch to try to figure out what to do. He's just coming out throwing high cheese.
The 0-2 swung on and swung through. 3 pitches, and Bazan is back to the dugout.
He told Bazan to say cheese as he sat there and freeze framed him for a strikeout.
So it'll be up to Zach Shepler to try to extend the inning. If he can find his way aboard, Julian Guerrero is the cleanup hitter, but we're trying to avoid that. Bustamante agrees on the pitch, turns and fires. And there's his first ball of the ball game below the knees to Shepler for a 1-0 count.
And Shepler's a good hitter. We saw a lot of him last season too. First chance to see him. Now he's batting a different spot in the lineup. I know he can pitch for you too, so he's gonna be a good player for this Warrior team going forward.
Belt high fastball for a called strike on the inside corner. It's 1-1. Off speed, just a bit too high over the top of that cursive south side lettering on his jersey. In play, and a base hit past the outstretched arm of Colin Murphy, and Shepler finds his way aboard on a single up the middle.
Yeah, he's one of the guys in the lineup that the Warriors are going to depend on this season. They've already off to a good start, but there's a reason why Shepler's batting third. He batted a lot of cleanup last year, but with players graduating and moving around, he's in a third spot. You want to have him in a good spot to get on base here, and that worked for him with a good hit up the middle.
So now Cifuentes covering the first base back as the righty Bustamante has to turn his back to the runner and pitch out of the stretch for the first time. Chopper, third. AB pumps the glove, fires to first, and that'll end the inning. So a 2-out single is negated, and the bottom of the first ends on a 5-3, just like the top of the first did. We're very quickly through this first inning and headed to inning number 2 with the Colts ahead by 2 here on the Zap Network, presented by John Wade Roofing.
John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades, and they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com.
Navigating Medicare options isn't easy. Hi, I'm Patsy Arnold, and when the time came to navigate my options, I went to Chapman Cornelius. They helped me find the best plan for my needs, quoted me life insurance options, and guided me in making my decisions every step of the way. They want to do the same for you, so give them a call at 817-265-3346 or visit chapman-cornelius.com.
Time for the second inning here at Warrior Field, and it's presented by Pipe and Peak Plumbing. Call Caleb Renfro if you need cast iron replacement specialists at 817-807-7069. Serving the Arlington area for over 16 years. It'll be the 6, 7, and 8 spots in the Arlington lineup. Murphy, Quiros, and Cifuentes that will be coming to the plate here facing Maggart. He got 1 strikeout, but also gave up a bunt single and a double to left center. And then you called it that his off-speeder had the potential to go in the dirt, and it did just that with a man on third base, allowing Gannon Howard to come in to score.
And I don't know, just watching him warm up, if he's just trying to focus more he's an off-speed type pitcher. Maybe he's one of the pitch-to-contact type pitchers that you see usually in high school, or he just doesn't feel confident throwing a fastball, because he didn't really throw a fastball there in warm-up. He's trying to work that off-speed, especially outside and away with that changeup, and we'll see if he got the kinks worked out or not.
Off speed goes underneath the swing there for strike 1 to Murphy.
Yeah, see, he has a good changeup there. He's pulling the speed off, and the Colt hitters are waiting for a fastball there. They're not going to get it. He's not throwing fastballs early, but he's having a hard time with some of those real deep breaking pitches.
That one's a little bit too low, and it brings the count to 1-1. Murphy is one of the do-it-all-for-you type players that Arlington has in their lineup. Apparently, we didn't cover this particular game, but Coach Womack says that he has seen time on the mound. So he has played in 6 out of the 9 defensive positions for Arlington to start this season as he takes a look at ball 2. He says that the only positions that he hasn't played in yet are first base, center field, and right field. So that right-hand half of the diamond is something that he has not had an opportunity to play defense in yet, but he just might at some point. And he's going to take first base the hard way as that breaking pitch breaks the padding on his shoulder blade. It's an HBP, and the leadoff man is aboard again for Arlington.
Yeah, the Colts had a very physical game on Friday versus Haltom. 5 hit by pitches were Colts were, so they're just getting beat up left and right versus the Buffaloes. So we've already seen one now. At least it wasn't AB this time, but still, hit by pitches do hurt.
That'll be Corbin Quiros squaring up to bunt, and he can't connect. As Murphy retreats back to first base, it'll be strike 1. Interesting small ball tactic here from Coach Womack, considering Quiros is the only player in the Arlington lineup who has hit the ball over the fence so far this season. Shepler covering the first base bag for the Warriors as the bunt is pulled up and swing and a miss, and now he'll just have to defend the plate with an 0-2 count.
That's if we don't question the Dominic Trio home run versus Birdville, where everybody called it a home run except for the umpire.
Except the umpire. That opinion is the one that matters most, unfortunately. Agrit's 0-2 home is a chopper foul. Good job defending the plate there by Corbin Quiros, and he'll keep the at-bat alive. The Warriors dispatched the CM Houston Texans in pretty convincing fashion in 2 games last week, including a run rule victory last Friday. Those Texans are playing against the Bowie Volunteers this week as Quiros swings and misses for a strikeout. But Murphy does get the stolen base. It is Pops and Cameron Wilcox on the call. That game live also on the Zap Network at the ballpark at Bowie.
He's one of my favorite players in the whole Colts lineup, Big Noah Fuentes. He has a lot of pop in his bat. He can't find the gaps, and he's moving his way down the lineup, but he's got a lot of pop. And I'm waiting for that one day he finds one and hits it over the wall.
Waiting
it's
for
coming.
that one big swing.
He's got it. He's got a lot of power in it. He has good contact. He just can't find that gap, and we're waiting for it.
The 1-0 is now 2-0 with a man in scoring position. Looked like maybe a slider that just slid too far outside of the strike zone.
You know why me and Noah get along? Because his favorite food is double orange chicken from Panda Express. That's why we're good buddies.
He had to clarify because last year he just said Panda Express, and we made fun of him saying that he likes to eat the entire restaurant.
Now, last week I called him Pablo Sandoval from the Giants. That's
Yeah, I remember. I remember
He
Pablo.
has a good pop. I mean, Pablo was the same way. He had a good pop, played good third base, good first base. Kind of built the same way. That's why he's one of the players I enjoyed watching the most. I think that's what I see a lot of Noah in, a lot of Pablo Sandoval for Giants fans. Surprised no Giants fans.
I wonder if we have Giants fans in the chat. Chopper, third base. This will hold Quiros. Tough throw across the diamond. Correction, that's Murphy who is going to be held up at second. And the 5-3 results in out number 2. So now it'll be up to the 9-hole hitter, Trillo, to try to bring in a runner from scoring position. If he can find some way aboard, Bustamante is waiting in the on-deck circle. First pitch home. Too far inside, that's ball 1. It's a good eye by Trillo. It had the right height, but not the right placement. Maggart agrees on the pitch, turns and fires. And the check swing is going to go foul up the first baseline. Pitcher tosses to pitcher as Bustamante sends it back to Maggart. All turf here at the home of the Warriors. Don't have to worry about balls getting scuffed up and muddy quite as much as you would back at Arlington's Colt Field. That one's going to bounce in front of Guerrero, and that will keep the runner, Murphy, over at second for now.
And that's that same breaking pitch. Maggart's having a hard time trying to get it located. Either it's a wild pitch or it's coming up short. His changeup's great. His changeup's just pulling the speed off the fastball. But his breaking, like curveball or slider, whatever he's trying to throw, is not hitting.
Another late swing by Trillo. A lot of the Colt batters have been holding up on those off speeders and then been a little bit late because of the hesitation. They're more used to swinging at fastballs. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 men on in inning number 2. Next pitch. Count runs full. Trillo looks at an inside ball 3.
Good eye there. Good eye. Lay off on that 2-2. Now he's got to be protective, though. Unless it's something in the way, don't chase it. But you got to protect yourself.
He's going to put this in play to the shortstop. Fielded cleanly and fired to first in time. Ramirez to Shepler will end the inning and strand a runner in scoring position. Arlington leaves a man on second, but they still lead by 2 here in inning number 2. Back after this on the Zap Network, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Modern West Windows and Doors is a partner of the Zap Network. They're also partnered with trusted industry leaders like Lowen, Weather Shield, and Simpas to guarantee quality product and installation. Whether you're searching for new concepts for your entryway, living room, dining room, bedroom, or even a workshop, Modern West has the solutions you're looking for. Visit the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth or visit modernwestwindows.com.
Taqueria Taco Express is the official taqueria of Zach Arnold Productions, with locations in Arlington, Grand Prairie, Waxahachie, and a new location opening in Mansfield. Solving your Mexican food craving has never been easier. Visit them on Taco Tuesdays for their special 5 tacos and a large agua fresca for just $10. Find out more by visiting taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Back here at the home of the Warriors, we're talking about the smells from the concession stand that's behind us here. Jot, you mentioned a couple of times that some of the best concessions food you had took place at the home of the Birdville Hawks not too long ago.
Right around the corner from my house. I don't know what it is. I smell those hot links from about, I don't know, half a mile away. But getting a chance to cover the Colts at the Birdville tournament, the Medford tournament at Birdville, that's some really good hot links. So shout out the Birdville concession guy. I got to pull a Cameron Wilcox here and go get me a hot link at some point in time during this game. Like he got one at the Colts game.
He got one mid-game?
Got one mid-game.
Mid-game.
He got one mid-game on Friday, delivered to him by his girlfriend. So I got to try one here. It's my last time here for a while, you know. So I got to figure out if they're good or not, if they compare to the Birdville ones.
I've heard that the later into the game that it goes, the more the price drops. So if you wait it out till about the 5th or 6th inning, they start selling them for like $1 or $2.
I go check it out.
Brandon Mountcastle leading things off and taking a look at strike 1 at the knees. He's the right fielder batting 5th. He'll be followed by the DH, Isaac Bertman, who's batting for the pitcher, Maggart. And the shortstop, Juan Ramirez, 5'6", in the SGP lineup. He'll foul that one back. The 8-hole hitter is the third baseman, number 3, Carson Vasquez. And rounding out the order is the second baseman, J.C. Lucio. The 0-2. Called strike 3. Take a seat.
Beautiful pitch there. Strikeout Mountcastle on 3 pitches. Second strikeout of the game already early for Busta. So he's showing the opposite of what we're seeing on the other side from Maggart. He's going at batters and not.
He's going with heat.
Going with heat. Maggart trying to work that curveball down.
He's trying to get ahead in the count and then finishing it off with some well-placed heaters, which, judging by how many beanies are out and how many people are in blankets this evening, maybe we need a little bit of heat at the ballpark.
Sun's going down right in front of us. Yeah, the warmth's going away.
Bunt is squared up for, but Bertman is able to pull back in time for ball 1.
As I've been told every day throughout the weather center at work, yeah, it's going to be 92 on Friday. 92 on Friday. Don't forget, it's going to be warm. 92 on Friday.
TBD. I'll believe that when I see it, as ball 2 is issued here.
Look, if you want to raise your IQ, just walk into the meteorology center, and then you feel like a genius just walking in, because they're all science guys. Me, I'm just a guy that speaks a lot.
2-0. Now 3-0. You kind of need to have that in our profession. You got to be able to be a little bit of a chatterbox. You got to be able to describe the atmosphere and the scene here as the breeze continues to gently blow. Kind of swirling though, as you can see that flag in the outfield. And a strike is issued there to make it 3 balls and a strike. Bertman again showing bunt, but pulls back.
That was an interesting approach there by Bertman on a 3-0. He still tried to put the bunt down.
Belt high, strike 2 called. And we've got a countdown on the scoreboard. 3, 2, 1. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out.
I don't think Bertman's comfortable because his first few bats he saw, he dropped down a bunt and pulled away. Never mind, that one went deep.
Announcer's jinx as that one goes out to right field, and Howard's not able to corral it. He'll pick it up and throw it back in, but Bertman is rounding for third, and there's not going to be a throw. That's a triple for the designated hitter.
Yeah, he looked uncomfortable at first the way he was dropping the bunts down, but on a 3-2, he found that gap and hit it over again in Howard's head. That's on me. Announcer's jinx, I guess.
Howard with a deep, deep dive. He laid out like Rusty Greer used to do for the Rangers and just could not quite make it. And now with 1 out, South's first run of the game is 90 feet away. That'll take us to the shortstop, Juan Ramirez. First pitch to him. I guess that was a bit too high. It was at the lettering of Southside for a called ball 1. Overcompensating a little bit there as he tries to go lower, and that one goes below the knees for ball 2. Samonte will throw over to third base to check in on Bertman. He's back in time. .302 to the left and right field corners as that one catches the corner of the strike zone for a called strike 1.
Good comeback pitch there. Looked like originally the 1-0 pitch was a strike, but that 2-1 good comeback there. Now Ramirez is going to be a little protective up there at the plate, so if Bustamante can get him to swing out here.
He checks his swing, but is able to hold up.
He thought about it. He wanted that breaking pitch out of the way. That's what we were getting ready to say, is that if you can try to make him chase, you would have a 2-2.
Oh, they made the appeal. They made an appeal, and I think they said that he went around.
He looked like he went around.
They made an appeal to the field, and Coach Yelda is saying, do you really need help? You're right there behind the plate. Coach Yelda not happy about getting a called strike from the umpire that's in the infield. But it looks like the count should be 2-2. And now it's run full. 3-2 now to Juan Ramirez.
The thing is, for Coach Yeldon, you lose that debate when we all see your batter swing past the plate. He's already past the point of where you stop for the strike.
Mm-hmm.
So once your batter basically is a full swing out there, you lost that debate with the umpire. Because the second base umpire watches you get a full swing. The bat's already past home plate, and it's basically coming into a backswing. So
Payoff pitch. Doesn't matter. He gets the ball 4 anyway. And there's runners on the corners now for Carson Vasquez. Took an extra pitch to get there, but he does get the free pass up the first baseline.
if you're Bustamante here, you have a chance for a double play. Double play works. Just be careful. They're going to try the double steal like we've seen a lot lately, where the runner from third is going to try to go home.
Yeah, there's been some pretty aggressive base running, and a lot of the time it pays off, but there are a few times where the runner gets gunned down at home.
But just try to get a double play here. Try to catch them sleeping. Make sure Alvarado back behind the plate, he has his head on a swivel. Because if the runner from third takes off, you need to be ready to catch a ball coming at you.
First pitch home, just below the knees for a ball one. Tarzan Vasquez is at bat. JC Lucio, the 9-hole hitter,
I don't think Booster
is on deck.
I don't think Booster liked that call.
I think he got that call earlier in the ball game. Yeah, and he's having trouble finding that strike zone now. He was able to attack it the first couple of innings.
But it's like the zone is shifted now. So a lot of those pitches that were chest high, that were coming across the letters, aren't getting called. As the first pitch here on the at bat was still between the knees and the chest, it should have been a strike. He's not getting the call that he was getting earlier in the game.
They're going to throw down to first, and he is back in time. Good pop throw there by Axel Alvarado, but it's 3-0 at the plate now to number 3. He's going too low, too high, too far inside. He needs the Goldilocks of pitches here. He needs one that's just right.
I think Vasquez is going to swing here on a 3-0. I don't think he has a red light button. Doesn't have a red light button.
He had the red light, and he takes a look at strike number 1. Hitters count now with a man in scoring position. Still got to be careful with your placement. In play, Murphy. It'll bounce off of him, and the first run of the game will score. You know, even if he was able to get up and make the throw, Vasquez was charging up that baseline. That was a sharply hit ball. Scoreboard is recording it as a hit. I'm inclined to agree.
It's an RBI single because the best he could have done was got the force at second, and that's honestly it. He wouldn't have been able to get up in time to get the ball over to first. You get the force at second, you get the second out, but the run's going to score either
Run's
way.
going to score either way.
So
yeah.
it should go as an RBI single.
Infield hit, and now there's 2 runners aboard with 1 out, and the first run plated for the top of the order. No, correction, this is Lucio, the 9-hole hitter. And he takes a look at a ball.
This is throwing away Bustamante's confidence a little bit there. A lot of these pitches he got in the first inning, he's not getting.
He's
here
not getting
the
them in the second. No.
Getting high too.
He'll feign towards second base, chase the runner back. Murphy is shading closer to that second base bag as Hercules is playing in the gap between first and second.
Watch out for a double steal here, the bunt.
Lofted to left field. This could be trouble. Howard giving chase. He'll make the grab for out number 2, and he actually keeps the runners where they are. Do not test Gannon the Cannon. It's out number 2.
That's a good job by Gannon Howard. He found the cutoff man who was just perfectly placed there in Murphy, and you made sure the runners don't get from second to third. Now you have to worry about Dalen Brooks here on the top of the lineup here if you Bustamante, but with 2 away, any type of ground ball that you can get a force out on will end this inning and end that threat.
Yep. Top of the order, though, for Dalen Brooks. Skied it into the first base night sky in his last at-bat. Another pop throw down to first base, and everybody is back safely. Should be ball 1 at the plate to Brooks as he takes a timeout and heads back towards the batter's circle. He'll call an official time here as Coach Womack will take advantage of the players' called timeout. So this will not count as a mound visit, but he'll come out and talk to his pitcher while Coach Yilda and Dalen Brooks converse up the third baseline. It's actually a really good strategy by Coach Womack just to calm his pitcher down but not use one of his mound visits. Looks like strike 1 is shown on the scoreboard, so it should be an 0-1 count here with 2 outs. Bustamante looking at the runner at second. and comes home. Lofted to center field again. Howard is gonna watch the right fielder, Payne Cornell, haul it in. The way he was tracking, it looked like Howard had it hauled in, but instead Cornell records the F9 and the inning is over, but not before South cuts the Arlington lead in half. We're through 2, and it's 2-1 Arlington when we come back here on the Zap Network.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Field Ops North Texas is the trusted name in athletic field marketing for schools, teams, leagues, and tournaments. They even do commercial landscaping. The better question is, what can't they do? With fast turnaround times and proven expertise, they make sure your grounds look unbeatable every time. Call 817-908-2194 to find out more.
As we're back here at South Grand Prairie High School, you hear a little Backstreet Boys in the background. Quit playing games with my heart. You want to talk about somebody that's not going to play games with your heart? That's our third inning sponsors. That's Field Ops. They don't play games with your heart. What they do, they make field markings. They do more than just field markings. They do commercial landscaping. Find out all John Kling can do by calling 817-908-2194. Field Ops, our third inning sponsors. They won't play games with your heart. They will come out and do all that you need them to do. Go to the top of the third inning. Back to the top of the lineup we go for the Arlington Colts. Danny Bustamante, Gannon Howard, and Axel Alvarado. 1, 2, 3. Taking against Michael Maggart here. And their second go around against the Warriors pitcher.
Gophers.
The Gophers. As the first pitch for Maggart is going to be a breaking ball inside the Bustamante. Pitcher on pitcher. Now we're going to see the calls that Busta didn't get. Maggart's going to get them here in the top of the third. 1-0 count. Maggart lays one out there. That ball is hit high, foul, out of play, over here towards us somewhere.
I got it.
Call that ball help for those that like to play street ball. Snake eyes on the scoreboard. 1 ball, 1 strike. So in his first bet, led the game off with a first pitch bunt. Got on base safely, ended up scoring. As the 1-1 delayed call there, but they called the strike anyways. 1-2.
That one was at the lettering, maybe just above it, but the loop of that pitch loops across the strike zone at the right time, apparently.
1-2 count here to Bustamante. Maggart's pitch. That ball's going to be high. That's past the lettering there. Ball 2.
That's past the helmet.
Past everything. Maggart's had a hard time controlling certain pitches here, especially the deep breaking pitch. But the changeups he's done a good job with. So prepare for one of those here, possibly on a 2-2. As the 2-2 is swung on, it is hit foul over our head again. Off the light pole. And that's the parking lot here at South Grand Prairie. The parking lot's right next to both the first base line and the third base line. So a lot of balls might get hit out into the parking lot or out into the street behind us. 2-2 again. That ball is hit. It is going to stay in play. The shortstop is going to call for it. Nope, he's going to be waved off by the left fielder, and that's going to be out number 1. Anthony Bazan gets underneath for the first out of the third inning. Gannon Howard's going to step up for his second plate appearance. He's 1 for 1 with an RBI double that got the scoring off for the Colts back in the second inning. As Howard he swings at the first pitch over to the third baseman, who's going to scoop it up, fire to first, and in time, Shepard has to step back onto the bag, but he makes it in time safely. 1 pitch, 1 out. So 2 away here in the top of the third inning. As Axel's going to come up 0 for 1 on the night so far. He flew out deep to Dalen Brooks. As first pitch here to Axel's me at the eyes. Don't worry about a strike call there because it's ball 1. I say that jokingly as we've had some pitches called strikes that are all over the place. 1-0 count. Maggart's going to call for a new ball. and Cornell on deck. Axel, one of the better hitters here in the Colts lineup. All the hitters are pretty good, but he's batting 400s as that ball is hit. It is going to be fielded by the second baseman on a bounce, who fires over the Shepler at first to end the third inning. 3 up, 3 down for the Colts. We go to the bottom of the third. Colts lead 2-1. We'll be right back after this.
Are you a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage? Or perhaps you're navigating the complexities of Medicare? Look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family owned, independent insurance agency with over 50 years of experience with tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need home and auto, business insurance, or individual or group medical, Chapman Cornelius has knowledgeable agents who will help you select just what you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott at 817 265 3346.
Looking for a plumber you can rely on? Pipe and Peak handles all your residential plumbing needs. From tunneling and slab leaks to camera inspection and sewer repair, and even cast iron replacement. They offer competitive pricing and now offer financing to make repairs easier to manage. Family owned and trusted for over 16 years, they treat every home like their own. Call 817-807-7069 to get your free quote and get your plumbing handled right.
And we're back here for the bottom of the third inning. Zach, the voice is back on the call. He's back on the headset.
Back on the headset. This is your inning to call, bud. But I was trying to keep up with the other game on the Zap Network going on across town, and we had a little audio difficulties that we were working to rectify.
That's the thing when you go into a field like broadcasting and communications. There's always something we have to fix somewhere else. As the Colts are looking to try to fix this game to put it back in back in a way that benefits them. They have a 2-1 lead, but last inning was quite shaky. Not from possibly the pitchers of Bustamante, but a lot of the calls didn't go the same way as the last inning did for Maggard. So let's see if Bustamante could get back on track here going into the bottom of the third, where he's going to face the 2, 3, 4 hitters for the Warriors: Anthony Bazan, Zach Shepler, and Julian Guerrero in that order. As Axel's going to go out and give some words of encouragement to Bustamante before the bottom of the third here, surrounded by his friends, his teammates. The Grayson College commit looking to continue his dominance that he's had in district play with the perfect game that he got last week against the Haltom Buffaloes.
Yeah, and I think it's a little bit of pressure has come off of him now that that first run has come across, now that there's a few hits that have been tallied. Now he can just settle in and focus on pitching instead of focusing on the pressures that come with trying to repeat perfection. All of that is out the window now. He's got one run of run support that's given him that cushion, that lead, but he's definitely going to need a little bit more help than just a 1, 2, 3 inning like they just had.
And that's a good bit of help there by Anthony Bazan, who swings at the first pitch for a called strike. Swings at the 0-1. That ball's going to be hit foul. Not towards my car, though.
Well, and that's the other thing that Bustamante needs to work on is getting ahead in the count. Instead of those 2-1 counts, those 2-2 counts, try to get ahead of it 0-2 and force the batter to be a little more defensive.
0-2 count to Bazan, the number 2 batter in the lineup. One of the few lefties that the Warriors have. As he hits that ball, Abe's gonna field it at third. Gonna fire over to Fuentes at first, and that's gonna be out number 1. That's a good way to get your first out of the inning. The 5-3 from the defense behind you. So, welcome to the plate for his second plate appearance of the game. He's 1 for 1 with a single. That single back in the first inning, a 2-out hit, extended the first inning, but not enough that the Warriors were able to bring anybody in on. The first pitch to Shepler is going to be high at the eyes. Ball 1. At the eyes.
He didn't like the grip of that ball, so he's going to ask for a new one. Something must have happened on his release that he didn't like.
1-0 count to Shepler. Goes to pitchers here, and that's high again. Ball 2. Shepler is one of the guys coming back on this Warriors team who made a run at the district championship before falling to Arlington last year in a one-game winner-take-all district championship. I'm sure he has that in his memory. 2-0 bounces past Axel at the plate. 3-0. 3-0 count to Scheffler with Julian Guerrero on deck circle. Takes a deep breath before he walks back up to the rubber. 3-0 count, one away. And the 3-0 was looked at. Called strike. Has to look in our direction when he calls the strike.
He's got to make eye contact with me. I'll be like, yeah, you bet that was a strike.
Can't question his calls. He's looking me right in the eye. 3-1 count to Scheffler now, one away. And the 3-1. That ball is hit. It is going to drop in the glove of the left fielder. That is no, he's going to miss the catch.
No. They're going to say no catch.
No catch out in the left field. It looked like a good play, but not able to bring it in. It's Dominic Trio, so Scheffler's going to get on with a single.
That's just a blooper to left field, but it's a 2-for-2 evening for Scheffler.
Good try out there by Trillo, though. He had a good lead on it. He followed the ball. It looked like it was a great catch out there in left field. Wasn't able to get his glove all the way around it, and the snow coned out. Now the number 4 man in the lineup, Julian Guerrero, the catcher, is 0-for-1. He grounded out his first plate appearance back in the first. Similar situation with Scheffler on first. As the first pitch, the Guerrero called strike. Good fastball by Bustamante. Double play ball would be helpful for the Colts right now. Scheffler at first. 0-1 count. Good pop up by Axel. Who stayed in place. Fuentes had to look it into his
What
glove.
a hop by Noah to keep that from going into right field.
Kung Fu Panda. Acrobats out there.
Kung Fu Panda Express.
Kung Fu Panda Express. Kung Fu Panda is a good movie.
It is a good movie. I just haven't thought about it in a long time. That's a deep cut.
As he thinks about that one, but doesn't give Booster the call there. 2-1. The benefit of having kids, you remember a lot of movies you grew up watching. Good Burger, for example.
I know some of those words.
2-1 count to Julian Guerrero. Scheffler on first. Fuentes holding the bag over at first base. One away, the bottom of the third, with the Colts still leading 2-1. As the 2-1 swung on, that ball is hit deep. But Cornell's going to get under it in right field. He fires back over to first. Fuentes scoops it in. But Scheffler is back in time for one away. For one down, one more out. Sorry. Not one away, two away.
2 away.
Just throw me away.
For Mountcastle, who was sent away on a backwards K his last time up.
Trust his defense here to get this out or attack the batter. He already has a strikeout against Mountcastle. 2 away, Scheffler at first. Colts still lead 2-1. As another one, another ball, but it's in a good spot there.
Another one.
Just high right across the letters. 1-0 count. 1-0. Good placement by Axel to get the strike.
That's at the knees.
Good help from your catcher there. Good frame. 1-1 count. We call that snake eyes around here. I don't know why. As he fires over to first, Scheffler's back in time. No need to get dirty when you play on turf. I'm sure that turf burn does not feel good in the morning. 1-1 count to Mountcastle. Scheffler at first. Colts trying to get out of this inning without that run coming across. Scheffler's going to take off. Mountcastle swings. That ball's going to be hit out to right field. Cornell's under it. And that's going to end the inning on an F9. Scheffler's going to go ahead and run to the dugout as the Colts are going to run into the dugout to get ready to bat for the top of the fourth. And we'll bring that to you right after this. This is Colt Baseball presented to you by John Wade Roofing.
Modern West Windows and Doors invites you to see the difference. Whether you need sliding doors, bay windows, or just need a more modern look, Modern West has options to fit both your style and budget. Stop by the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth to see for yourself, or call 682-255-6094 for more information.
Hey, this is John Wade Jr., Colt Football 97, class of 98, and the next time you have a roofing issue, be sure and call Arlington's favorite roofer, John Wade Roofing. Look us up on the internet at johnwaderoofing.com.
Fans Welcome back to South Grand Prairie High School. Let me tell you about our fourth inning sponsors. That's Trinity Logistics Services. Don't let hauling be a hassle. Trinity has the dumpsters that fit any size project, and they can drop off and pick up so you can focus on cleaning up for a win for your home or business. Call Chet Soto at 817-693-1302 for more info. Trinity Logistics Services, proud sponsor of Zach Arnold Productions for the fourth inning. As we bring back the fourth inning, Payne Cornell is going to step into the batter's box for the second time tonight. Behind him, Abe Alvarado and then Colin Murphy, 4, 5, and 6 for the Colts, who lead 2-1 here in the top of the fourth inning. Michael Maggart steps back onto the mound. He's had some control issues on his breaking pitch, but other than that, he's managed to hold the Colts to 2 runs so far. As the changeups called strike one at the knees. That's one pitch he hasn't had problems with tonight. Is that changeup? He's pulling the string on the off speed. The Colts are having a hard time keeping up with it. The 0-1 to Cornell swings and misses on a fastball. He's going up and down the speeds there. Quick 0-2. Cornell struck out in his first plate appearance back in the first inning. As the 0-2 is going to bounce past. Pass home plate. Back to the backstop. Ball one. As you hear the sounds of a kid here on the right of us speaking into the mic at the throw him away. 1 ball, 2 strike to Payne Cornell. Keep right in front of us in the on deck circle. 1-2 from Maggart. Swung on and missed. Cornell's down for the second strikeout of the night. He's having a hard time keeping up with some of the pitches from Maggart. He's pulling the string, changing speeds, change up fastball. He got him there with another changeup. Kids next to me are calling Abe Alvarado Abraham Lincoln. We call him AB.
I don't know how he would feel about being named after Lincoln, but Donna Nipper is very correct that we've got a beautiful night sky here out in left field. You can see it just a little bit on our stream on YouTube, but now that the sun is set, it's a beautiful night for baseball.
As that ball is hit towards that night sky, but it's going to be on the ground. The third baseman's going to fire over the Shepler, and that's out number 2. Yeah, you want to talk about the night sky? I'm waiting for something to get hit right over the 325
into the night
into the
sky.
night sky. And the guy that can do it would be Colin Murphy. As the Colts have 2 outs, have gone through 2 outs already in the top of the fourth inning. Murphy took a hit by pitch to the shoulder in his first plate appearance. He almost gets hit again, and he had to jump away from that one. Ball one. Colts have had a painful season when it comes to getting hit by pitches. Last game versus Alton, 4 hit by pitches that game. As the 1-0 is we call it strike one. I believe Abe Alvarado has been hit by 4 pitches this season so far, at least in the games that me and Cameron Wilcox have called for him. As the 1-1 bounces in the dirt in front of the catcher, 2-1. Here in the on deck circle right in front of us, right in front of the mic. He turns around and says hi. You probably hear his voice, but I don't think know if he can hear me or not. 2-1. As Murphy.
He went around.
Went all the way around there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The Colts lead 2-1 here in the top of the fourth inning. Nice night, but somewhat breezy here in Grand Prairie. As that ball is breezy past past the pitcher, second baseman is going to get to it. Fire over the Shepler at first, and that's going to end the inning. And we're going to stretch it out. Go ahead and get up, stretch it out, stretch those legs. I'm about to do that in a second. You know the best people to do that with is Modern West Windows. They can show you how to unfold things and invite you to see the new opportunities, and see the difference that new windows can make on your home. Visit modernwestwindows.com to learn more about our sponsors of Zap's fourth inning stretch. We'll be right back after we stretch it out after this.
When your high school field needs to look game ready, trust John Kling and the pros at Field Ops North Texas. This veteran-owned team delivers fast turnaround and long-lasting field striping for football, soccer, lacrosse, and more. using professional grade paint and equipment. Field Ops proudly serves schools and communities across North Texas, helping student athletes compete on fields that look as good as they play. Get a free quote today by visiting gofieldops.com/north-texas.
Navigating Medicare options isn't easy. Hi, I'm Patsy Arnold, and when the time came to navigate my options, I went to Chapman Cornelius. They helped me find the best plan for my needs, quoted me life insurance options, and guided me in making my decisions every step of the way. They want to do the same for you, so give them a call at 817-265-3346 or visit chapman-cornelius.com.
And we're back here to South Grand Prairie where the Colts lead 2-1 over the South Grand Prairie Warriors in a rematch of last year's district championship game between these two teams. The Colts end up coming away with the win, and I can call them the reigning, defending, undisputed District 868 champions.
Absolutely.
To quote the legendary Paul Heyman, for those you may or may not know, fans, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Follow everything that Zap has going on for you as we get ready for the bottom of the fourth inning. Our goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube. We're getting there close. We're over within 100 subscribers. So
I think it was 9:15 last I counted.
make sure you tell your friends, your family, your next door neighbor, and make sure your dog even has a YouTube so they can subscribe.
I
to
know that
everything
there's
Zap
pet YouTube
has going.
channels. I know for a fact those exist.
As Bustamante, the first pitch he throws, it's gonna be a bunt. Abe's gonna field it, fire to Fuentes, and that's gonna be a quick out number one. And that was Isaac Birdman. DH. Out for a bunt single. Good play by Abe at third. Come in on the bunt. Bertman, Ramirez, Vasquez, the 6, 7, 8 hitters for the South Grand Prairie Warriors.
Username Ron568 tuning in from Arlington. Thanks for joining us here in South Grand Prairie tonight.
As cold ball.
Must have been outside. It was definitely the right height.
Juan Ramirez, 1-0 count. A lot of interesting pitches here, pitch calls. As the 1-0 is going to be hit, Gannon Howard's got good legs on it, and he's going to look up and catch it for out number 2. So when to go.
That was hit on a line. I'm not going to give that an F. I'm going to give that an L8 because that was sharply hit.
That's Carson Vasquez, who hit a good ball earlier for RBI single. That was out to his left field. He is coming up for his second plate appearance of the game. Bustamante is back on the mound. He's doing so good so far. 3 pitches through the inning, 2 outs. And that ball's going to be hit. Fielded by Murphy at short. Murphy's going to fire to Fuentes in time to get to Speedy Vasquez. And that's going to end the inning. 4 pitches for Bustamante here at the bottom of the fourth.
And I hope that gives him a boost because a clean inning like that will go a long way.
Boost for Bustamante.
Boost for Busta.
As we get ready to go to the top of the fifth, we'll be right back with Zach Arnold Productions presented by John Wade Roofing.
Modern West Windows and Doors is a partner of the Zap Network. They're also partnered with trusted industry leaders like Lowen, Weather Shield, and Simpas to guarantee quality product and installation. Whether you're searching for new concepts for your entryway, living room, dining room, bedroom, or even a workshop, Modern West has the solutions you're looking for. Visit the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth or visit modernwestwindows.com. Whenever a plumbing problem hits your home, experience matters. Pipe and Peak is a family-owned residential plumbing company with 16 years of experience that you can trust. They handle everything from yard leaks and slab leaks to tunnel work, and they're specialists in replacing old cast iron pipe. No job is too big or too small, and their pricing stays competitive. If you're seeing signs of aging pipes, now's the time to act. Send an email to Caleb Renfro to see how Pipe and Peak can help your home.
I smell of hot dogs there in the air right behind me. It is a 2-1 ball game. The Colts lead over the South Grand Prairie Warriors. Shout out the hot dog guy at Birdville. I don't know what it is, man. The hot links from Birdville.
I think you want to get a contract with Birdville just so you can call games from right down the street and eat their hot links every week.
What I gotta do is make sure that we're the Colts, whatever hot links they got, we need to get them back at.
You need to get
Colt
that same
Field.
brand.
Same brand. Don't know what it was. Whatever he did, special. As we talk about special players, Corbin Kuros is a special player. He's come up to bat for his second plate appearance. The 7, 8, 9 hitters, as that ball grazes off the
Oh,
umpire's ear. Strike one. He swung and missed. Kuros did on a fastball that hit the umpire straight off the ear. I didn't get a chance to say last inning. Shout out to Bustamante, Alex Bustamante. I was reading that Danny models his game after his older brother, who was at
mm-hmm.
UTA's, looking to be a UTA alum like me and Zach over here. Mavs. It's just always good to root fellow
It's
Mavs.
it's such a cool story playing at the corner of Cooper and Park Row, making your way all the way out to Odessa and making a name for yourself at Odessa College, and then coming right back to your hometown and playing at the corner of Park Row and Fielder. Like, it doesn't come more full circle than that.
That ball, that swung on and missed. That was full circle there because he went all the way around. Couldn't make good contact on it. Strike two. It's one of those things when you grow up right around the corner from UTA, as I did, and Bustamante and a few other people have done. To go play at the school or be at the school that you kind of seen your whole life. It's a life changing moment. As the 1-2 breaking ball that Maggart can't find the strike zone for, that curveball, he's having a
It
hard time with
was
it.
it was that pitch that scored Howard from third back in the first inning, and that's been the difference.
It's the changeups the Colts can't get around on, but the curveballs Maggart can't find the zone with. 1-2 count. Fuentes on deck. Quiroz looks at another curveball that doesn't make it past home plate. Another bouncer. It's worked the count back 2-2. He's had a hard time with it all night, Zach. That curveball, he can't get it. He's pulling the string on the changeup really well, changing speeds, but he can't find a good breaking pitch. 2-2. That ball is hit out into the parking lot,
That might go off of the school bus that drove him here.
right past the school bus into a car that has the lights on. To the owner of the white sedan, you've left the lights on. Two balls, two strikes, no outs. SpongeBob reference. Child in me, my daughter, who's probably not listening.
Cheese man.
2-2, and that ball's gonna be a dribbler down the third base line. Foul. Cheese man. She loves the cheese man. I think she calls us SpongeBob now. By the way, if my wife is listening, shout out to you. Tomorrow is our anniversary.
Tomorrow is.
Tomorrow is.
Congratulations.
I didn't forget.
I Dude, at the awards banquets for the football team, every single coach before he gives out his awards, he's always giving a shout out to his wife. And every time it happens, oh,
Ross.
oh,
He can't shout out anything, but he's gonna tell somebody to move over because he's gonna take that down. Strike three. That's
and
a painful way to go down too.
anytime one of those coaches gives a shout out to their wife at the awards banquet, my wife goes to those dinners with me, and she leans over and gives me the little elbow, the nudge, like, hey, you need to be doing that.
Give you the Iggy, as we call it in wrestling. Fuentes looks at a ball. Good call. No call there. Ball one.
Interesting.
Fuentes shakes his head at it too. He had the same thought that we had. Fuentes 0 for 1. Grounded out 5-3 back in the second inning. It's the 1-0 short. Low. Ball two. Yep, tomorrow is my 4-year anniversary. I know it's
Congratulations.
4 because my daughter will be 4 in October. I hope.
Let's make sure we get all those dates right.
The 2-0. Fuentes looks at that for a call strike one. Yep, we
That
were
was
22.
that was below the knees, dude. That was below the knees.
As Zach whispers under his voice, so that all of us can hear it. 2-1 count, one away. Top of the fifth. Yes, that's the pop I've been waiting for, but it carries too far left foul. That's the pop that me and Cameron Wilcox have waited for all season from Cifuentes. He has a good bat. He has a good eye. He just can't find the gap there, and that one he just pulls too far left. That was a double with his name written all over it. Two balls, two strikes, one out. Top of the fifth. Noah Cifuentes on deck, dominant trio. As the 2-2 call, strike three. Back to back strikeouts for Maggart. And that's his fifth strikeout of the game.
I was about to say I put the little cross marker on my little tallies of strikeouts. Maggart's finding the zone and getting the calls.
Dominic Trio is going to step up for his second plate appearance. Grounded out 6-3 back in the second. Colts have not gotten a hit since the first inning. As that ball is hit foul. I ducked my head, so hopefully the ball wasn't coming towards me.
Don't hit me. Please don't hit me.
I had to make sure I had that stat right. The Colts have not gotten a hit since the first inning. Scoreboard reached 2-1 in score and runs. Colts have 2 hits. Warriors have 4 hits. As the 0-1 misses, they're 1-1. Ball, 1 strike, 2 outs tonight. Top of the 5th inning. Top of the lineup is on deck after this with Bustamante in the on deck circle. As the 1-2 misses again, 2-1. Maggard gets the call, kicks and fires, and that ball is over the net, out onto the street behind us. 2-2. 2's across. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Apparently, the umpire ran out of baseballs.
I'm surprised that didn't happen at Grand Prairie High School, but that many balls get hit into the street.
There were a lot of
creek.
them, for sure.
The same crew was here last week at Grand Prairie High School, right around the corner from us, where there's a creek right behind the first base foul line, and we were just wondering what happens if you run out of balls, and is there a ball budget? Apparently we've came across the ball budget. As the 2-2 swung on and missed, and Maggart's going to strike out the side. 6th strikeout of the night for Maggart, and the Warriors are going to come up to bat for the bottom of the 5th inning. Right after this, this is Cold Baseball presented to you by John Wade Roofing.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Taquería Taco Express es la taquería oficial de Zach Arnold Productions. Con un amplio y auténtico menú, satisface tus antojos o prepara tu próximo evento con nosotros. Visítanos todos los martes para disfrutar de Taco Tuesday con 5 tacos y un agua fresca por solo $10. Para encontrar sucursales cercanas o hacer pedidos en línea, visita taqueriatacoexpress.com.
And we're back here to South Grand Prairie High School. Fans, make sure you tune in to the other side of Zap Network, where Bowie and Sam are locked in a close game 1-0. The Texans lead over the Volunteers. Pops and Cameron Wilcox have that call. Top of the 5th inning. A quick one there, a quick one here as we're in the bottom of the 5th. The Colts lead 2-1 over the South Grand Prairie Warriors.
Yeah, and those 2 runs back in the first inning are proving absolutely vital right now, as Maggart has settled down and collected 3 strikeouts in the last half inning, striking out the side in order. After looking shaky in the first couple of innings, he seems to have really settled down. And right now, the Colts are clinging to that 1-run advantage.
As Booster's going to take on the 9-1-2s. It's going to be J.C. Lucio, Dalen Brooks, and Anthony Bizon. 9-1-2 in the bottom of the 5th inning. As Lucio is going to step into the batter's box for his second plate appearance. He flew out to center back in the second inning. First pitch from Booster. Strike at the eyes. Oh, ball at the eyes. I'm sorry. We've had
He didn't swing.
We've had a lot of calls that are just all over the place. I was confused there for a second. 1-0 count. All 2 at the eyes.
And he's going with that high heater, but right now it's just a little bit too high. You can hear the pop in Axel Alvarado's glove, but he's not getting the rotation on his arm correctly and not getting the placement that he wants.
As Booster's going to fire, that ball is hit out foul.
That'll go behind us.
And this is a white security truck.
Inches away.
Scoreboard reads 1-2. Our scoreboard reads 2-1.
2-1.
And
Now it's 2-2.
Now it's 2-2 either way.
Got him at the knees.
Balls, 2 strikes. Good 2-1 pitch there by Bustamante. 2-2 pitch to Lucio coming. And he swings and misses at a ball in the dirt. Axel's going to get up. Fire to Fuentes at first to make sure we get the strikeout. And that's going to be how the inning's going to start for Bustamante. Strike him out, throw him out. As we get to the top of the lineup, Dalen Brooks, the speedy center fielder, 0 for 2. He's going to take his third chance at Danny Bustamante.
Yeah, a couple of flyouts from Brooks so far. One that was popped up to the first baseman, and then the other one went about 40 or 50 feet further and was a flyout. Well, in right. Both times he's gone opposite field with it.
Good breaking pitch at the letters for strike one.
I was about to jump up out of my seat if that one didn't get called. The delay on some of these strike calls gets to me a little bit sometimes.
Might see Zach climb the net. That ball's hit, and that's going to be out towards right field. Cornell's going to get under it, and he's going to look it into the glove for out number 2. F9. F9.
So all three of Brooks's pieces of contact have gone out to right field or shallow right, deep first base, but so far has not been able to keep it in the gaps or away from the gloves of the Colt defense.
As Anthony Baizan, who has yet to hit one out towards the outfield in his 2 plate appearances, looks at a strike. He struck out in his first plate appearance in the first inning, and he grounded out back in the third on a 5-3 ground ball. 0-1 count to Baizan. Placed it by Axel, but didn't get the call there. 1-1.
Yeah, he tried to frame it. He grabbed it and then moved his glove up slightly to see if he could get the call. Does not.
South Florida has a man warming up in the bullpen as the ball is hit back to the net. Strike 2.
Only 3 strikeouts for Bustamante this evening. The rest of it has been on the backs of his defense, and they have not committed anything that they should not. I'm not going to go with the announcer's jinx here, but
Baizan was one of the strikeout casualties for Bustamante. Got the strikeout party started back in the first inning. Party of 3. Let's make it 4. 1-2 count, 2 away. Check swing, doesn't go around. 2-2.
high heater, and that's the right pitch call when you're ahead in the count. But Faison doesn't offer at it.
I got 2, you got 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As Baizan's going to hit that one, dribble it back to the net foul over there behind the first, next to the dugout, really. Behind third base, next to the home plate dugout. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Number 28 at the plate. Bustamante trying to get his second strikeout of the inning. The second strikeout of Baizan's night, if he's able to get it. And he's going to get it.
The defense is doing its job, and the Colts continue to cling to the 1-run advantage. We're headed to the 6th inning. It's still a 2-1 ball game. Back after this on Zap.
Field Ops North Texas is the trusted name in athletic field marketing for schools, teams, leagues, and tournaments. They even do commercial landscaping. The better question is, what can't they do? With fast turnaround times and proven expertise, they make sure your grounds look unbeatable every time. Call 817-908-2194 to find out more. Looking for a plumber you can rely on? Pipe & Peak handles all your residential plumbing needs. From tunneling and slab bleaks to camera inspection and sewer repair, and even cast iron replacement. They offer competitive pricing and now offer financing to make repairs easier to manage. Family owned and trusted for over 16 years, they treat every home like their own. Call 817-807-7069 to get your free quote and get your plumbing handled right.
6th inning about to get underway here at the home of the Warriors. Michael Maggart back out for another inning of work after striking out the side in order his last time up. And we'll be going to the top of the Arlington lineup here with Bustamante, Howard, and Axel Alvarado. Trying to find a way to collect an insurance run if possible, as they are narrowly leading in this defensive battle 2-1.
They can try to get some hits together here. There's a man in the bullpen for South Grand Prairie, and really try to chase Maggart out this inning. As that pitcher out there could just be the closer to try to keep them in the game.
First pitch from Maggart. Below the knees for ball one. Bustamante started the game with a bunt single that caught the third baseman Vasquez napping. But then after that, he flew out to left field. He's going to loft this one to left field. It's going to bloop into fair territory. No, it's not. Bazan is going to slide in on one knee and collect out number one. It was blooping for about 10 seconds. That gave the left fielder enough time to come in and collect the out.
Bazan had a good chase on it. It looks like it was going to drop in between the third baseman and Bazan, but like you said, he came in sliding. Did a little disco move there, keep his hands up, but try to look the ball into the glove.
First pitch to Gannon Howard is belt high for a called strike one. He got that big double to left center, an RBI, stolen base, scored on a wild pitch. All of that was back in the first inning. He's going to put that one on a rope to right field, but it is going to be caught for out number two. Mountcastle giving chase, and it's 2 up, 2 down. After talking about Axel batting .486 coming into this game, he's 0 for 2 on the evening so far. Far inside to the catcher there for ball number one. That was a called strike, apparently.
It's just been interesting.
So part of it is Payne Pennell is standing right in front of my view of the umpire. So not quite in the on-deck circle where he's supposed to be.
Ball.
And that one is a called ball for a 2-1 count. I might have to stand up and maneuver myself a little bit. 2-1. Ripped foul into the bullpen along the third baseline, occupied by the home team. And Axel has the deuces wild on the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Maggart sets and fires. Too high, and the count runs full.
Wouldn't surprise me here to he pulls take some speed off of that on that 3-2.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely going changeup here.
That's the pitch that's worked for him the best. He can't hit a curveball tonight, but the changeup's been really good for him.
Payoff pitch. This is solid contact, backhanded by the second baseman, and Lucio de Schepler will result in another 4-3 putout, and it's another 1-2-3 half inning for Michael Maggart. But so far, the Colt defense is doing its job. They are going to go back to work with a 2-1 advantage when we come back with the bottom of the 6th inning here on the Zap Network, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Looking for the most unique gift for your student or athlete? Local Legends Figures has you covered. The custom 6-inch figures are designed with you and your legend in mind. They even immortalize yours truly with a custom, never-before-used model to create a Zach the Voice figure for my 30th birthday. Huge thanks to our friends at Local Legends Figures. See pricing and place orders at locallegendsfigures.com.
Pools in Texas need servicing all year long. At Rami Pools, LLC, we provide quality pool services such as cleaning, maintenance, and repairs. So call 469-951-0107 for a free estimate and ask for Roberto. Rami Pools, LLC. We're going to make you fall in love with your pool again. Hablamos español.
To the bottom of the 6th inning we go. Jot Holly has stepped away temporarily, but he's been on the call with me this evening. Chaz Melton running the score bug and the commercial breaks behind the scenes, helping us produce this evening's ball game. Luckily, we haven't had to do any kind of troubleshooting with the camera. We did a little bit of work during the pregame in order to get it to line up and connect, and since then it's been relatively on autopilot. Thank you all for tuning in to this game on the Zap Network. We appreciate your support of this channel and of Colt baseball. Still 1-0 going into the 6th inning across town for the other game. Bustamante back out on the mound as he continues to cling to a 1-run advantage. Both of those runs scored back in the 1st inning, and since then it's been the defense trying to hold down the fort. During the pregame conversation I had with Coach Womack, he talked about how this team hangs their hat and takes a lot of pride in their defense and their fundamentals, and that has been carrying them so far. Scheffler is 2 for 2 on the evening and will be leading things off for the Warriors here. Neither one of those base hits has resulted in any damage. No RBI and no runs scored for Scheffler, but it would be nice to finally retire him this evening as he takes a look at a called strike 1 to lead off the bottom of the 6th. It'll be Scheffler, Guerrero, and Mountcastle, the 3, 4, 5 spots in the Warrior lineup. As ball 1 is called, that one must have been a bit outside. The 1-1 here is now 1-2. Scheffler didn't really care for that call, but the Arlington faithful are delighted that that one is finally getting called. And it will stay 1-2 after that foul ball. 2 runs on 2 hits for Arlington, according to the scoreboard out there in left field, and so far that has been all that they've needed. Gannon Howard coming in from 3rd in the 1st inning, scoring on a wild pitch, is proving the difference thus far. Swing and a miss, and Scheffler is retired on strikes, and Bustamante collects strikeout number 5.
Good pitch there by Bustamante to get that strikeout. Strikeout number 5 against a guy who's had good contact against you all night. That's not a good fastball like that, too.
So 1 away for the catcher, Julian Guerrero, 0 for 2 on the evening, and takes a look at a called strike 1 here.
Had a chance to taste a South Grand Prairie hot link here. It was pretty darn good.
I'm about to give mine a taste as soon as I get a little ketchup on it.
Guerrero looks at a called strike. So it's 1-1 count here to Guerrero, number 4 man, the catcher. Good strike
and they're going to give him the call. The scoreboard out here in left wanted to give him a ball 2, but it is 1 ball and 2 strikes.
A lot of those pitches had been called balls.
They have. Ring him up. That's a called strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Bustamante, and now he has 6, and there's 2 away in inning number 6.
Back in the 5th inning, he had 2 with the fly out in between. Now he's got back-to-back, so 4 of his last 5 batters he's struck out. Good pitching here by Bustamante late. You know, especially you get late into the count, you've had a lot of pitches go against you. He's finally getting that fastball back. His confidence is back.
This is in play, headed to the right center gap. Howard is charging and making the grab. So a couple of strikeouts, and then the defense doing their job behind him, and it's a 1-2-3 half inning for Bustamante. We're headed to an exciting 7th here on the Zap Network. Copy the link, hit that share button. We'll be right back.
John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades, and they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com.
Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to hear Zach talk about things beyond the realm of sport, catch him with me, Ben Hart, on the Intergalactic Peace Coalition podcast. For nearly a decade, we've been geeking out on IPC about our favorite nerdy things. We have a back catalog of over 350 episodes diving into sci-fi and fantasy stories like no one else. Find the Intergalactic Peace Coalition at ipcpodcast.podbean.com or download via your favorite podcast app.
During the inning change, we have a new pitcher. So a lot of changes happening here at South Grand Prairie. Before we tell you about who the new pitcher is, we're going to tell you that the new pitcher has came down the pipe. In Pipe and Peak Plumbing, they present to you our new pitcher, and that is Matt Smith, the lefty for South Grand Prairie, number 11. Pipe and Peak, they've been serving the Arlington area for over a decade. Arrange a free quote by calling 817-807-7069. Pipe and Peak, they sponsor our pitching change here at that network for us this season. Matt Smith, the pitcher, is going to come out of the bullpen for South Grand Prairie to try to preserve this 2-1 deficit that they're in, to give the Warriors a chance to try to tie it up and take the lead in the bottom of the 7th. Lefty matchup here, a lefty pitcher. He's going against a few righties, though. Payne Cornell, the righty. Then behind him, Abe Alvarado and Colin Murphy. So interesting move here by Coach Yeldon of South Grand Prairie to bring the lefty out of the bullpen to face 3 righties. 4, 5, 6 in the lineup for the Colts.
Yeah, we'll see how that fares for him.
As he's coming out throwing fastballs during his warm-up. As Maggart's day is done, I'll try to tally that up for you.
Very solid outing for Michael Maggart. According to the scoreboard, just 2 hits allowed, 6 strikeouts in 6 innings of work. It doesn't get much more efficient than that.
And he only had 1 walk, and that was a hit by pitch back in the 6th inning. Colin Murphy was the one that was hit. But yeah, good night for Michael Maggart. Even not being able to hit his curveball, he had a good changeup all night. So he did a good job there, out there on the mound for the Warriors. As Coach Womack's going to have a conversation with Blue behind the mound.
He's asking about something.
He's turnabout to fair play is what they say. I guess he's arguing about they're checking the glove of Bustamante, so he wanted to make sure they checked the glove of Matt Smith coming out of the bullpen. Check the hand for rosin or dirt, spit, anything.
Anything that doesn't belong there.
As Coach Womack and Coach Yeldon have some words over there in the dugout.
First pitch to Cornell to start the top of the 7th is away for ball 1.
Saw a lot of that during tournament play, with just motions of the pitchers and checking for pitching hands. And
strike at the knees is called there.
As Adam Ciara had a couple of balks called on him in the Birdville tournament for the way his motion is. They're saying that he was hiding the ball. So just the way they've been checking these pitchers here.
Even though we're in district, we've still technically only been playing for about 3 or 4 weeks. So there's still a lot of baseball left to play as Cornell sends this into foul territory behind us. The 2-2 pitch. Another one that's jammed off of the wrists. And that'll go into foul territory. Alex Alvarado rooting for number 20 from Milford, Texas. Well, guess what? Number 20 is about to come up to the plate as 17, Cornell, is retired swinging. An 0 for 3 evening with all strikeouts for Cornell in the cleanup spot. As Abe Alvarado 0 for 2 on the evening, both of them ground outs to his third base counterpart. That is belt high for a called strike 1.
Let's see if having Alvarado in the shack can kind of bring some good luck here for Abe.
Check swing, neck high, that's ball 1.
And Matt Smith came out of the bullpen just throwing nothing but heat. No breaking pitches here for the young lefty reliever.
Hey, the arm is fresh. Might as well. 1-1 goes below the knees. Good eye there by AB laying off of that. We saw him flinch, but he lays off it.
And that's the changeup there. Maggard had a good changeup as a starting pitcher. Smith has a good changeup there as a lefty.
That one just above the knees, and AB knew it. Says that's on me as the count moves to 2-2. Smith's next pitch. Too far inside. The fans on the first baseline thought that was going to get rung up. Instead, the count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Payoff pitch. Chopper to short this time. Tough play, long throw, and it is in time. Ramirez able to scoop it up and dish it to Shepler. And there's 2 away after the 6-3 putout.
It looked like Shepler had to crawl on the ground to get back onto the bag because he was pulled off the bag there on the throw by Ramirez, but just not pulled far enough for Abe to get down there and get on first base.
So it'll be up to Colin Murphy to try to extend the inning against Matt Smith. 2 away here in the top of the 7th. First pitch is a called strike 1 at the knees. Curveball drops in, called strike 2. Eerily silent here at Warrior Field as every pitch matters. 0-2 is too far inside as Murphy sucks in his gut in the batter's box to move it to a 1-2 count.
As some of the parents here aren't liking some of the calls there, but it's been the same way for both teams here, not getting the calls that you want.
That one's low and inside, and Murph has worked the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
If you're going to be inconsistent, at least be consistent with both teams. So it works out on both sides, ends up being fair.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Next pitch from Smith. And the at-bat will stay alive for 1 more pitch as that one gets chopped behind us to the backside.
Good job by Murphy there, keeping the bat alive here with 2 outs. And give Kyrgios a chance to swing up here, the top of the 7th. Try to get an extra insurance run because you might need it in the bottom.
Check swing. Did he go around? I say he did not. And the count has run full to Colin Murphy. And again, the South faithful not liking what they see. Payoff pitch. Ball 4. Everybody waiting with bated breath. And Murphy finds his way aboard on the free pass to take us to Corbin Quiros.
Fair there by Murphy there.
That's a quality at-bat.
You made the reliever throw a lot of pitches, throw something that he's not comfortable throwing, and then you waited it out into a batter's count just to get the ball there. That's a good way to get on base, and now use that speed to get over to second.
Ball 1 is chin high to Corbin Quiros. 0 for 2 on the evening, a couple of strikeouts against Michael Maggart. His first time seeing Matt Smith.
With 2 outs here, it wouldn't surprise me if Murphy runs.
This is a belt base hit to the right center field gap. Murphy's on his horse. It's fielded by Mountcastle, and they're going to hold him up at third base. Then there's runners on the corners with 2 outs for the Colts.
Yeah, we were waiting for a hit and run there. I was waiting for Murphy to take off to second, but that's a good piece of hitting there by Kyrgios to get on base with the single and get Murphy over the third. I was really waiting by the time that he swung that bat, Murphy to already be at second. He's got wheels, but
now this is something that Maggart had issues with, but we have not seen a whole lot of wild throws from Matt Smith so far, but a wild pitch is definitely on the table for Noah Cifuentes. Runner is going, and they will let him take it as the cutoff was issued to the pitcher, Smith.
See if they could catch Murphy.
Here comes my boy, Big Noah. I need something out of him. Been waiting for this all season. This is a good chance to get that hit.
He's going to put it in play to third base, right to the third baseman, and the inning is over. Vasquez over to Shepler, and the Colts leave 2 more in scoring position. So they will need 3 outs in order to claim district win number 3. Stick around. We've got an exciting bottom of the 7th here on Zap when we come back.
Las albercas en Texas necesitan servicios durante todo el año. Romy Pools brinda servicios de calidad, incluyendo limpieza, mantenimiento y reparaciones. Llama al número 469-951-0107 para una consulta gratuita y pregunta por Roberto. Romy Pools, haremos que te enamores de tu alberca de nuevo.
Hey, this is John Wade Jr., Colt Football 97, class of 98. And the next time you have a roofing issue, be sure and call Arlington's favorite roofer, John Wade Roofing. Look us up on the internet at johnwaderoofing.com.
Fans, a reminder to stay tuned for the post-game show presented by John Wade Roofing at the conclusion of this ball game. South Grand Prairie is looking for the walk-off. Danny Bustamante is looking for the complete game victory. He's got 6 strikeouts already, and he just needs 3 more outs for Arlington to claim a 2-1 road victory. 2 runs in the first inning, Jot, and it may prove the difference.
Those 2 runs back in the first have been important for the Colts because the Colts haven't gotten a hit until the 7th inning, and you needed those 2 runs back in the first. You jump started against a good pitcher because Maggard ended up settling down into a good spot, minus the fact that he wasn't able to get his curveball. So those 2 runs are important. You had a chance back to try to get more out of it, but just ended up with nothing there.
Bertman will lead things off, and he will look at a called strike 1 from Danny Bustamante. It'll be Bertman, Ramirez, and Vasquez, the 6, 7, 8 spots in the Warrior lineup.
You need to attack Bertman here. He already has a triple that he got back for you on the 2nd.
And he's attacking it here, ahead in the count, 0-2 to start the bottom of the 7th.
He got that triple on a full count there when we didn't think he was going to swing the bat. He kept trying to get a bunt. So you got to make sure you continue to go after him with the 0-2 count.
Check swing, and they say he went around. Coach Yelda does not like the call, but that is strikeout number 7 and out number 1. I noticed, Jot, that Bertman did not dispute it that much.
No, he knew he went around.
He knew that he went around, but Coach Yelda thought otherwise. That'll take us to Juan Ramirez. 7 strikeouts on the evening now for Bustamante. Ball 1, I guess.
This was the batter back in the 2nd or 3rd, I believe, that had a lot of arguments with that sent Coach Yoda on his tirade with the umpires not getting the call they wanted. He ended up getting walked, but the similar situation here where Ramirez ended up drawing the walk after a lot of dispute on certain pitches.
2-0 to him here. And that one will drop in for a called strike. The off speed finding the zone. In play, Hercules will get the throw in time, and there's 2 away.
I really want to do the Nutty Professor, but I'm not going to. I'm going to have restraint.
So it'll be up to Carson Vasquez, who got the infield single that scored their only run back in the 2nd inning. But other than that, it's just a ground out to the shortstop. Bustamante looking to pick up the win here. First pitch is a slider below the knees for ball 1. Busta turns and fires, and that one's too high. He started too low and then overcompensated, and now it's 2-0. That time the slider finds the zone, and Busta gets the call to make it 2-1. Swing and a miss, and the Warriors are down to their final strike of the ball game.
This is when you put all the gas in it, baby. No, all gas, no brakes here. 2-2. Give it everything you got. I want to see the hat flying off here on this fastball to get the strikeout.
The righty agrees on the pitch, turns and fires the 2-2. That's in play. It's headed for left field, headed for Trillo, and he's going to make the grab. That's out number 3, and that's win number 3 in district for the Arlington Colts. They scored 2 in the first inning, and then the defense takes it home, and they collect a 2-1 win at South Grand Prairie. What a defensive gem with 7 strikeouts from Bustamante and a bunch of defense to pick up the win. That'll take us into a somewhat abbreviated postgame show presented by John Wade Roofing, since we have to vacate the premises since we're the visitors this evening. But Danny Bustamante doing a great job on the mound, collecting 7 strikeouts, collecting the win. Colts moved to 3-0 in district, and as tense as it may have gotten several times over, you just had this feeling that the Arlington defense was going to get it done. And this group of seniors does indeed pick up the 2-1 win on the road.
Yeah, you get a big 2-1 win on the road, especially against a team that you know is going to be formidable the rest of the year in South Grand Prairie. They came in with a big winning record out of district play, out of tournament play, and this is their first big challenge. They played Sam Houston last week, so now you're the first challenge that they're going to see.
Yep.
To set the bar. If you can come away with a sweep here by getting a win on Friday back at Arlington, then you'll be in a good spot. If you're Arlington, if not, either way, you got a 2-1 win here. You ended up taking one against a good team, and now you know what your bar is for the rest of the season.
It's going to be a pretty high bar. Arlington getting the runs that they need in the first inning and then getting the job done the rest of the way. Fans, the postgame show and our title sponsors are John Wade Roofing. He played for Arlington High and was their football MVP in '76, and then he played football for TCU and UTA before he started going into the roofing business. He started in 1982, and now for the past 40 years, the company has built a legacy in the community that is built to last. The next time you have roofing needs, gutters, painting, solar, or more, call the family that does more at 817-265-5520. Jod, any final thoughts before we call it a night and start packing it up?
Bustamante, he's going to be on track for a really good season here. He's going to be on track for District Player of the Year with the way he's pitching. He already has a perfect game to start district play. Now he's got a one-run complete game win against a really good team. As long as he keeps it on track, he's going to be one of the names you're going to hear for all the big major district awards for 8-6A this season, in the last season of 8-6A before we move on.
That's going to do it for us here at Warrior Field. Final score again, Arlington 2, South Grand Prairie 1. The return game is on Friday at Colt Field, and I'll be on the call for that one as well. But for Jot Holly and Chaz Melton, I'm Zach Arnold, thanking you for tuning in to this episode of Zach Arnold Productions, and we'll see you all again in just a few short days. Until then, have a great night. We'll see you real soon.